Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Decentralizing today, and Happy Mother's Day.
It's Mojito Mother's Day.
Mojito Mother's Day, yeah. Ooh, cheers. So, I'm gonna definitely pander since I have them on the camera and say, Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you so much, and But anyway, I got my mom into Bitcoin. I did back in the day, and of course, my wife, Erin. You guys know. Happy Mother's Day to her too.
Thank you.
She does a great job, and I suck compared to her. She's much better than I am at being a parent. Yeah. But I'm good at cryptoing, and that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. I want to talk about Bitcoin mining, and the question we're asking today really is, I think, a simple one. It's just like, should you be a Bitcoin miner? Where did my other stuff go? Whoopsie. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm sharing the right stuff here. Okay, that's what's confusing me. So let's start by taking a look kind of at the two Bitcoin miners that I started investing in as part of our strategy for like diversifying sources of crypto income and Bitcoin income. I personally think it's important to have some mining revenue that's coming in, and I personally have a thesis which may or may not be right, and I'm actually kind of testing it. And the idea is, is it going to pay off better if I actually regularly put money into Bitcoin mining as a whole bucket, right? Or would it be more fruitful and profitable just to like DCA, that means dollar cost average, into Bitcoin? And this kind of comes from Solve, right? Like one of our friends, he was kind of saying to me and giving me a hard time. He's like, dude, it's too complicated. Just DCA into BTC and you're going to make more money. He might be right. But
So Nate's doing an analysis, and he's actually keeping tabs on it, because we've been mining, which I'm sure you'll talk about at some point, how we're mining currently, which is not at our house.
So let me start real quick by just kind of showing two of our miners here that we bought. And I apologize if you guys can hear the kids screaming in the backyard here. They're having a good time. And I apologize. But anyway, you can see here the two miners that we have. The first one I purchased, I'll go right here and kind of share some of the data that I've started to do, and you can see it up here too on this screen. Might be easier for you guys to see. It's pretty small. But basically, if we look at like purchase dates and stuff, so the way I remember which is first I bought the more inefficient miner, which was this one, which consumes 3,100 watts of power, 3.1 kilowatt. And its hash rate is, it's earning us like 90 terahashes of Bitcoin of hash rate. So that's how many times it's trying to solve.
What's a terahash?
That's a great question. So a hash is like, basically SHA-256 is the algorithm that is utilized by the Bitcoin network. It's also utilized in Dogecoin, I believe, as well. And the methodology for the standard hashing algorithm 256, you're trying to get, that's what it stands for, SHA-256. Now, I can't even totally explain this off the top of my head always. I have to go back and do a little bit of a primer. But the basic idea is there's a very long, hard-to-guess number, and it's not easy to decrypt that at all. It's encrypted. It's hashed several times, and there's a huge puzzle that the entire world is trying to solve. Every decentralized Bitcoin miner out there is trying to solve this puzzle, and they're making as many guesses as they can a second. So just think of it as like guesses per second.
Lots of guesses per second to solve the puzzle.
To find the right number.
Got it.
And essentially all the computers in the world are eliminating possibilities until, boom, someone gets the right one, and then
they win it, and they get that.
They win the block reward.
Got it.
And what's the block reward, guys? Does anyone know?
I just changed because of the halvening, so I don't remember. But I I know that it happened 3 weeks ago.
So
what's the new one?
It used to be 6.25 Bitcoin, and so I believe it's now 3.125 Bitcoin approximately every 10 minutes. So this is a good question. How does the Bitcoin network keep doing a consistent 10 minutes if the amount of hash power being added to it is variable? In other words, like people are like connecting and disconnecting all the time, all around the world. So on any given day, the hash rate might go up and down a little bit like that.
Is that part of the algorithm, like part of the formula?
It's part of what we call the difficulty adjustment.
Okay.
So like the difficulty adjustment can happen if like, for example, in 2021 in the summer, when China outlawed Bitcoin mining, all the miners shut off in the whole country at once, and we saw hash rate just went, it like plummeted very quickly to a lower value, as did Bitcoin price, right? one of the leading indicators that sometimes price analysts use to try and predict Bitcoin price is hash rate. But that's like some models, and of course people are going to dispute whether or not that's useful. But getting into, so I don't know if this answers your question, but like the bottom line to think about hash power is the more of it you have, the more Bitcoin you're going to earn.
Okay.
And the thing is, like, one computer by itself has a very small chance of winning it. Even if these are like semi-powerful miners, like the ones that we have hosted on Compass Mining, they're remotely hosted in Canada, and they're using hydropower. And so the thing with those miners is that on their own, they're not going to win that block reward. Like, I could mine for years and years and years, and we got kids out here. Like I said, statistically speaking, the odds that somebody's going to win that block reward, that one of my miners is going to win it, is very low. So what people do in practice is they join mining pools. And so, for example, this is the mining pool that we belong to. It's called Brains Pool. And
I didn't even know this. This is all news to me. Thank you.
And Compass Mining, they remote host those. So this is like the easy way to mine if you like don't want to manage that.
Yeah, and you want to
have
have
the
all
ASICs
the
here
stuff
at your house.
Yeah, because it's hard to set up, and it's hot, and then you have to worry about how much like power consumption
gets used,
and heat and how warm it is.
They generate heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, heat dissipation and noise tend to be two of the variables that are totally solved now if you use immersion cooling.
Yeah, which
which
he's
is
gonna
actually
have a whole thing on
Yeah,
this.
because I have a new ambition, everybody. I have a new purpose, and that purpose is this pool is going to be heated by Bitcoin mining, and the house is going to be heated by Bitcoin mining.
Wow.
And let me tell you that there are several reasons you want to do this, but that's kind of a tangent. I don't know if I want to get into all that in this episode, but like,
He's gonna do another video on this by itself.
yeah.
I'm gonna keep you on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, just like if you want to start a rabbit hole, check out constellation heating. For example, I'll share some links too in the show notes for going down your sustainability Bitcoin mining journey, because actually this turns out to be just insanely good tech in so many ways, right? If you want to take heat and recycle it and keep a greenhouse alive in the winter, or a fish farm, somewhere where it's frigid and cold, your choices, are limited, right? You're going to have to burn a lot of hydrocarbons to do that. But if you plug into the grid and do electric heaters, that's really expensive too, right?
Very.
What if you plug in Bitcoin miners into the grid?
Wow.
Now the grid is already somewhat sustainable, right? It has a mix.
Especially where we are with all the sunshine.
Yeah, I mean, it's 30-40% sustainable. So I feel like it's always a better option to plug in an amp miner. That's the company that makes the Bitcoin miners. It's better to plug one of those suckers in. And actually, here's the interesting thing: the heat generated from those microprocessors, like, it's an energy pure form of getting heat. There's no heat that is lost in this process, especially if you put it into immersion cooling. You can capture all the heat from the oil. You like circulate it to this device called a heat exchanger. Then we take the cold water from the pool, and that's going to hit the heat exchanger.
it cycles through
the two
it.
fluids do not mix, but the heat does. The heat transfers from the hotter fluid to the cooler one using, based on thermodynamics. It's really sick ass technology, guys. And the bottom line is that you're now getting paid money
To heat your pool.
To heat your pool in
Which
a
is
way
so
that's somewhat more
expensive.
sustainable. And we're going to use this. This is the ultimate goal. We're going to use this money that we're generating from this to help fund the entire goal of getting $100,000 worth of solar on this roof, like that amount of solar power. And the reason we want that amount of solar power is we want to keep a gigantic fixed amount of energy so we can be completely sustainable on our own from an energy perspective, where energy is secure. We have long-term energy prices locked in. And what do we do with the excess?
Sell it back to
well,
PNM.
well, you can sell it back to PNM.
Oh, that would suck though.
Yeah.
The reason it would suck.
So he's saying what
Because
he
they pay
would
you,
do.
they pay you nothing.
They pay
Yeah,
you like
pay
a
you
way,
nothing.
very tiny percentage
Yeah.
back. Instead, what we would do is we would turn on the amp miners and
And-
heat our pool, or use that heat for some other
To mine
source.
Bit-
Yeah, to mine Bitcoin. So we're also doing it in a sustainable
Everything.
way, and actually getting rid of our very inefficient gas, like natural gas pool
Yeah.
heater, because it's very inefficient. As
Yeah.
it's very expensive and very inefficient.
It's
So
old, it's crappy, it doesn't work well. Okay, anyway, so far I don't think I'm winning the profitability argument yet. I just want to jump to brass tacks.
okay, so that's a good idea.
because-
Get back on the narrow.
Yeah, here we got like the more modern one that I got later. And okay, let's get to purchasing price and all that. You can see March 7th, and I apologize, these aren't chronologically listed in a very easy to look at way, but March 17th, 2023, we purchased this
New
and-
miner,
and
or-
this
yeah.
miner, which is hosted in Manitoba, Canada, and a hydroelectric facility. It's an S19J. It hashes 90 terahashes per second, and it consumes 3,100 watts of power. You can see every month the power bill is higher, and that is commensurate to the more efficient miner that we buy later, which only costs 170 a month. So when I say more efficient, check this out. This shows you how tech works, right? Like in Bitcoin mining, there's a relentless push for efficiency. We want to get the best miners possible, and it gets rid of anything that's inefficient over time. And the thing is, these S19J Pros, now they hash at a faster one by 6 terahash, and they consume
Less
150 watts less,
Yeah,
right?
less energy.
And it was cheaper. I just waited a few months. So the key is kind of buying these in Bitcoin bear market, or
Yeah,
toward
it's
the end of the
timing.
bear market. Yeah. And actually right now it's still kind of a mining bear market. I'm not going to lie. And here's why I say that. I looked today on Compass Mining website, and I'm not going to get into the merits of whether you should host your own Bitcoin miners or remote host them. Like obviously there's risk, counterparty risk by trusting Compass Mining. I want to make that clear from the outside. So this is not financial advice. It's just sharing how I'm doing mining and my profitability analysis so far. But essentially what we're going to see here is this one was the total cost because they make you buy the miner, which I think was like $1,250. Then you have to pay a security deposit or something, like a deposit with them of $340, and you have to pay your first month of energy price, which is like $178. So the total came to $2,000. You could see here, 4 months later, I saw a better deal even. Well, 3 plus is 7. Yeah, 4 months later, I bought for $1,826, and it's reflecting. I got more efficiency at a cheaper price on every level, right?
Wow.
Like, so it's pretty cool. These two deals, I was like so stoked with these deals. Now let's talk about what we're making in total. Getting to brass tacks right here, with the Bitcoin price currently being around $61,000, we've currently earned a tenth of a Bitcoin approximately. Okay, so at current market rates, boom, here's our revenue down here, $6,435. Total cost and expenses is $7,792. So we are in the red still by $1,357. But 22 months remain on this contract. You have to sign 3-year contracts. And 26 months remains on this one's contract. Therefore, if we are a moon boy, which of course I'm a moon boy, we're going to
What's a
assume...
moon boy?
A moon boy is somebody who says that Bitcoin's going to the moon. It's going up higher and higher. So moon
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah. And you guys are moon girls, of course. Like,
I-
I know. Like,
we are
you
moon
know,
Dog to the
yeah.
moon, I know.
Not financial advice. 150 grand. Let's take that as a hypothetical Bitcoin price after some kind of parabolic rise and a crash 2 years from now. And I'm being optimistic. Maybe it's going to be 100K after the crash. And maybe that's even too optimistic. But let's see what happens.
Let's just do
see.
this.
I can change this
calculation.
number. I can change this number, right?
Oh yeah, and it'll do
if we take this is post-halvening daily rewards, right? And I want to say something here about earning and daily rewards. Just real quick, take a look here. You could see rewards. Boom! This is the day of halvening. I bet you 420.
Yep.
Yep. There it is.
And then down it goes.
And then
The
it goes down
rewards
to
are
essentially
less.
half, right?
Yeah.
But here's the really cool thing, guys. And you know, you may notice I'm pro ordinals. You may notice I'm pro inscriptions, pro BRC20s and runes. Why do I enjoy them so much? Do I have perhaps a vested interest in this?
Yes.
I do. I do have a vested interest. It's called fees. Fees have been unprecedentedly awesome. And so we're doing good. We're making money soon. In the future, this will very likely be profitable because we do not sell these Bitcoin. We just hodl them and then we use them for like shitcoining on Bitcoin, you know, buying ordinals and stuff. But like, if we assume a hodl strategy, right? This would be a straight DCA strategy so far. And you can see it's vastly outperforming us, right? Taking the price that Bitcoin traded for each of these same days, where we were paying like fees for electricity, and then adding it up and saying, okay, what was Bitcoin trading at that given day, and doing the calculation. This is how much Bitcoin we would have DCA'd in. So currently we would have DCA'd 0.24 Bitcoin, but instead we're negative $1,357.
So he's basically saying, yeah, it would be better, more efficient to do DCA.
Probably, but
Also, like, I would like to note that from
We
the
have 2 years left.
environmental perspective, I actually really like doing this because at the moment we do not have solar on our house. So that's not something that we could do in a sustainable way. I mean, yes, you could argue that, you know, there's a lot of the energy that we get from where we live is from the sun because people sell back their solar power. But I would say that I like this because it's completely energy. We're earning Bitcoin that's being sustainable. So that's why I like it. It makes me feel like it helps my conscience. I feel better.
I believe that we have like an obligation, a moral obligation, to keep the Bitcoin network as decentralized as possible, and also to make sure that it's free from control and centralized control of large entities, because this is a big hope for freedom and for people who live in censored regions of the globe. You know, whether you're being censored in a financial or political way, like money is a way out. Money is power. It just kind of is. Bitcoin is power, literally, turned into money. So the physics of it makes sense, right? Like, anyways, if we take a look at like total Bitcoin that we would project earning, it would be 0.32 by the end of the whole run, and that would be a total revenue of 48K. You know, if we had 150K Bitcoin price, so by the time we're done, we'll have spent $16,144 US. So that's the thing, right?
So we're still in profit if we hold over time and we continue to earn at this rate and Bitcoin goes up.
Yeah, it's very likely, but like, let's change this number. Let's say, what if Bitcoin is only $100,000, and you know we have to
You
hold
still
it all.
have
Then
like
we only have like a 16K profit, you know.
yeah,
But,
but still, it's still profit in the
profit.
long term. So
yeah, we still do more of the DCA type stuff anyway, but this is part of
a different alternate strategy
yeah.
that we use.
And look, I want to be frank. If I don't care if you
But you're
believe.
Nathan. How can you be frank? Stop.
Nice, thanks, Mom. I'm gonna be frank. I don't care if you believe in the climate crisis or not. It doesn't matter. Okay. The reason it doesn't matter is it's a narrative. Okay. The bottom line, and it's the truth about.
Well, and it also
the
saves you
FUD
money
and
in
all
the
that.
long run too. Like if you're doing it, like
I'm just saying it's the truth in terms of like, you know, everybody wants to just say, well, Bitcoin is a valuable use of energy, and that's where we start from, because we like won't even acknowledge the energy FUD. But like, it doesn't matter if you believe it or not or agree with it or not, because the people you're talking to who you're trying to orange pill, they do believe in that. Okay, so if they believe in that, take that as a premise and use the narrative, because it's an accurate narrative anyway. When we look at the energy and the thermodynamics and these factors, you know, it makes sense to do some Bitcoin mining. That's just my idea on it, and to force this chain as sustainable as possible, as quickly as possible, because if the developed world like continues to move along this trend of canceling Bitcoin mining, or attempting to cancel Bitcoin mining, it's going to go to dirty places, and it's going to perpetuate the problem.
Because they're not going to be able to stop it.
Yeah,
It's going to go on.
that's why you should Bitcoin mine.
yes,
Is it easy though? And it's profitable?
No, as you can see.
Maybe not yet. We're gonna have to let the whole experiment play out and just see how it continues.
Yeah.
But
He's a
I don't
math
know.
guy. He wants the numbers. So you'll see in how many more months? Let's see, 22 or 26 more months.
Yeah.
We'll have a follow up on this.
Yeah, we'll continue to kind of like move along
And
this.
he'll do the numbers because he's a numbers guy.
Yeah, it's fun.
So
All right. Well, thanks
Thanks
for
so
watching,
much.
guys. If you like this, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and interested in hearing your comments as well. I think that a big thing we need to focus on as Bitcoiners this cycle is really the marketing of Bitcoin. You know, in line with pushing the changes that are going to get the functionalities that bring people to the mother of all chains, you know, and I'm talking about OpCat and stuff. We also need to be considering what we're doing in the background to explain the energy, the thermodynamics, and the true power of the Bitcoin network and how it's going to help liberate the entire world. That is like paramount to our mission as well. Thanks for tuning in. and
Call your
have a good one.
mother. Don't forget. It's
Yeah.
Mother's Day. Call mom. Okay?
Happy
yeah,
Mother's
because
Day.
otherwise she'll be mad.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Perfect.